Welcome back. We are at number 2, the measure of value. We've begun talking about money and the fact that everyone wants it, not everyone has it, but why is money so important? Well, first we talked about the functions of money. It's a means of payment. It's a lot better than the barter system. It's also a measure of value. We can identify more easily what money is worth when we start using the actual currency that we're used to. Number 3, a third function of money is it's a means of storing purchasing power. See, under the barter system, the good received may lose its value over time. After all, food spoils, household items break, livestock dies, and clothes go out of style. Money better retains its face value. However, money can suffer from a type of economic spoilage as well. If the nation experiences inflation, it will likely reduce the purchasing value of a person's savings. Speaking of which, the term inflation. Definition of inflation is inflation is a general rise in prices. We've talked about inflation in times past, no need to dwell on it too far, but just using the simple example, imagine a nickel that your grandfather used compared to a nickel we use today. Your grandfather probably could have bought a candy bar with his nickel. You and me, we would probably get, nothing for the nickel. We'd get 5 pennies probably. That'd be about all you can get for a nickel. In short, a money system is better than a barter system. True? True. Letter B, desirable characteristics of money. There are certain characteristics that are most desirable for money to have. By the way, not all money systems are equal. First of all, here are some characteristics. Money can be convenient and portable, or convenience and portability. Ancient Sparta used bulky slabs of iron. Many American colonists used bales of tobacco. Neither would be easy to carry or use. Today, however, most societies choose a standard such as gold, silver, or paper that is definitely easier to carry and far more convenient. So convenient to use, portable, easy to carry. You're wondering, what was probably the most difficult type of money ever invented? Turn in your books to page 189. I want you to read that box to yourself, that tan box called Money on Yap. Let's just say that on Yap, their money was quite a ton of problems to deal with. So as you read through that, please pause the video, unpause once you have finished. Number 2, money, a good characteristic of money is that it is divisible. Apparently, you can divide a donut into 4 pieces. Well, hopefully you can divide the American dollar into 4 pieces. Divisibility means you should be able to divide the money relatively easily into smaller denominations. Historically speaking, Spain's dollar was once able to be literally divided into 8 pieces, hence pieces of 8. In fact, for a time, many Americans called the quarter 2-bit because, pieces of 8, 2/8 equal 1/4, which would be turned into $1. Number 3, durability. This has to do with money that lasts. Currently, a paper dollar has an average lifespan of 18 to 22 months. Coins, on the other hand, may last several decades. In its effort to cut costs, the U.S. government has on several occasions introduced dollar coins, but to date, such coins have proved unpopular. If you were in class, I would ask you guys to pull out some of the money that you have on hand. Search your pockets for some old money. What is the oldest coin that you have? What is the oldest dollar that you have on hand? I'm looking real quick through my money, and as soon as I finish, the oldest dollar that I have is from 2013. If I were to go through my change and quickly take a look, I would find money, coins that are older than that. And that's kind of what I would have expected had we done this in class. You'd have money, you'd have bills, but the coins would be even older. Also, if we were in class, I would, at this point, give an opportunity to show off some of my coin collection. You know, I'm a coin collector of sorts. I would have tried to show you some of my foreign coins, and I would have shown you some of my old money that I have as well. But since we don't have class, sorry guys. If you do collect coins, that is a fun hobby. I highly recommend it for you. Just don't get obsessed with it. Number 4, stability. Simply, the value of money should be relatively stable over time. If a certain amount of money can buy a car, but then a week later can only buy a loaf of bread, people will not stick with that currency for very long. Question: can you think of any alternatives to a cash currency? If we had time in class, or had class, perhaps I'd hear some ideas for you. What advantages or disadvantages could you come up with if you came up with a different form of currency? Well, those are some thoughts for you. Turn to page 190. 190. I want you to read the tan box entitled More Than Money. Then, once you have finished reading that, I want you to read page 191, A Penny for Your Thoughts. Please pause this video until you have finished reading those two boxes. All right, moving on. Letter C. There are 3 kinds of money: commodity money, representative money, and fiat money. Let's talk about each of these. Number 1, commodity money. Definition of commodity money is money in which some single commonly used good becomes the economy's medium of exchange. In fact, anything could serve as a commodity, including gold, but also things like seashells, or salt, or tobacco, or other illustrations we've used. As long as everyone uses this one commodity, that's the type of money. This form of money is usually the first step out of the barter system. The use of an abundant commodity has a tendency, however, to lead to inflated prices. For example, suppose you live in an island society that chooses to use seashells as money. When you go to a store to buy a shirt that costs 10 shells, you discover that you have only 5 shells in your pocket. You thought you had more, and you have none at home. Now what do? Do you go to work to earn more shells, or simply run down to the beach with a bucket? If the commodity a society uses as money is not rare, prices will tend to skyrocket. In our island example, the shirt could rise in price to hundreds of shells. As societies progress, they turn to using rare commodities that people cannot easily obtain or duplicate, such as gold or silver coins. Full-bodied coin. The definition of a full-bodied coin is when a coin contains an amount of gold or silver equal to its face value. Hence the term full-bodied. Another term that we're going to define is a token coin. Definition of a token coin is when a coin that contains a quantity of metal less than its face value. For example, a 1 ounce 20 gold piece, which by the way they do make, would be a full-bodied coin since the price of gold is more than $20 per ounce. But it would be a token coin if gold were worth less than $20 an ounce. By the way, gold is not worth less than $20 an ounce. You can get, I think the most recent example that I've seen of an ounce of gold is worth about $1,200. So your $20 1 ounce gold coin is worth a lot more than the $20 it says. If you happen to have a gold coin, 1 ounce gold coin worth $20, I'd like to trade it for you. I'll give you $25 for it. Okay, yeah, probably not. It's worth a lot more money than that. Actually, all of the coins commonly used in the U.S. today are token coins. You see the U.S. quarter right there. It's not made out of gold or silver. It's made out of nickel. It's made out of copper. It's made out of zinc. It's made out of different metals. But believe it or not, those coins, that metal used to make the quarter, is actually worth less than the value stated. So if you were to melt down that quarter and try to sell it, you would actually get less value for that quarter than if you had just kept the quarter as is. Number 2, representative money. Definition of representative money is money that represents a commodity that some entity holds in store. Let me read you on page 192. In the 15th and 16th centuries, Western Europeans who sought convenience and feared being robbed began to deposit their gold coins with local goldsmiths. For a fee, these early bankers would accept the gold and issue receipts to the depositors. Whenever the depositor wanted to make a purchase, however, he would first have to go through the inconvenient and time-consuming process of redeeming his receipt for gold. Eventually, after merchants became familiar with certain goldsmiths, they began accepting the gold deposit receipts from their customers instead of actual gold. Thus, paper money was born. More modern day example would be going on to the gold standard. The U.S. hasn't been on the gold standard in a long time, but at one point the U.S. was on the gold standard. And so that is a type of representative money. That's all the material that we're going to cover for today. Hope you all have a good day. Be good, do good.